APIs are at the heart of the modern software development in building cloud-based and cloud-native applications. In this era of modernization and digitization, web-based services and APIs are the main tools for communication. Let's take a quick look at how the API technologies evolved with time. Organizations and developer teams have been using a variety of API technologies for more than 4 decades, since the 1980s. I do not want to delve too much into the past, but I would like to begin by mentioning about the SOAP protocol that was invented in the year 1999. SOAP stands for Simple Object Access Protocol. This was a standard built on top of XML and was widely popular as the choice to build business applications in many organizations. My generation of programmers who started their career in late 90s or early 2000s started with the SOAP-based services majorly. Initially, we used the ASP.NET Web Services and later the WCF framework, which was released in the mid-2000s. The SOAP web services were one of the reasons the service-oriented architecture gained a lot of popularity. The REST architectural style was also invented around the same time. It was in the year 2000. REST stands for Representational State Transfer. Both REST and SOAP coexisted for a few years, but soon REST displaced SOAP as the de facto standard for web APIs. The primary reason is that SOAP supported only XML and REST supported a wide variety of data exchange formats. SOAP was heavy and REST was very simple and lightweight. SOAP is not obsolete, but its community is relatively very small in today's date. For almost over 2 decades, REST with JSON has become the primary choice for API developers. To build the REST APIs in .NET, we initially used the WCF framework with the Web HTTP protocol, and then once the MVC-based Web API framework was released, we adopted it. Now with the expansion of the internet and the rise of social media giants and enterprises reaching out to end users in every corner of the globe, there was a need for the API architectures to evolve. REST evidently was chatty in fetching required data from the servers, which slowly started having a negative impact on the customer experience in certain scenarios. So companies like Facebook and Google started using their own implementations of APIs. Facebook made their Graphql API query language open source in the year 2015. With their user base growing by tens and hundreds of millions year over year, Facebook needed something better than REST, and GraphQL was their answer. GraphQL was built with a powerful data querying API that works really well. Google also used an RPC-based API technology called gRPC internally. They released it to the public around the same time in 2015-2016. RPC-based APIs have been around even before SOAP. XML RPC was used quite a lot in the 90s, and JSON RPC had its own set of users in 2000s. They were quite okay. But gRPC is super efficient when it comes to data exchange and data transmission. Facebook also has an RPC implementation called Thrift, which is quite decent. Thrift is also now an open source project managed by the Apache Software Foundation. Then we also have Netflix, who built their Falcor framework as a JavaScript library. It works on top of a JSON graph model. Falcor also has a .NET router, but it is not very popular. All these technologies have implementations in almost all popular programming languages. But why so many technologies are being invented? The answer, I believe, is very simple. When the application and the user ecosystem is evolving, so should technologies. Microservices and polyglot development teams are the norm these days. These specifications are best suited for building microservices And as developers, it is our responsibility to use the right technology for the right requirements. Lot of companies have already started moving from REST to GraphQL, and gRPC is also gaining a lot of traction. But it does not mean that REST is going anywhere. It is still the most popular web API style today. There is a purpose that each of these specifications are built for, and in this course, Fastest Microservices in .NET, we are going to learn in detail about the two modern API specifications, GraphQL and gRPC, along with the most popular API architectural style, the REST API. Hello everyone, I am Sri from the Cedar Cloud team. I have over 15 years of experience in the areas of software architecture and design. I have designed and built enterprise-scale products across various domains and platforms for on-premise, cloud-based and cloud-native applications for major multinationals. In my most recent role, I was a principal architect overseeing design and development of products in a niche domain. Until 2015, all web-based APIs that I worked on were majorly SOAP and REST-based services, and often for certain use cases, I did feel that I was constrained because of the limitations of the API architecture. Besides building in-house components, I also had to rely on third-party libraries to accomplish certain tasks within the APIs. But after I discovered these two relatively new specifications, GraphQL and gRPC, I have been using them alongside the REST-based APIs to solve very specific needs of my products. I will be your instructor for this course to take you through an interesting journey to identify the fastest microservices technology in .NET. I am going to cover these three API technologies in detail and along with that cover the benchmark.NET library, which is a very powerful .NET benchmarking tool. We will also run various benchmark experiments for different usage scenarios to determine the best API amongst the three. So why wait? Get on board to begin.